is where we fight!
It's on you. Whatever you
Battle
decide.
is on. Mars versus Venus. Mars versus Venus with Nikki, Jaiga, and Rode.
Yeah. Whatever you feel, Nikki, you just go in. You just go.
All right, guys. Good morning. We want to welcome our beautiful gladiators, our women who are holding it down. Tap yourself on the back. Our beautiful gladiators. And we say good morning to our Spartans. Woohoo! Sexy Trini men.
See what Cardi B encouraging?
What?
Yeah, that last song she not released there is up.
Up.
She said broke boys don't deserve no
Nothing.
no Pikachu. None.
Nothing.
If you broke nothing for you.
Well, you're obviously not responsible and don't know how to handle stuff.
Wow.
That's the reason why.
Yeah,
So nobody don't see no hard times and things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nobody lose a job in the pandemic.
Yeah, no, you see, if you had things in place, you wouldn't have feel it as hard as the
The
other
thing
brother
about
down the
all
road.
too materialistic.
But
Wow, bro.
materialistic.
But guess what? You wouldn't break my spirit. You wouldn't break. I might go broke, but you wouldn't break my spirit.
I'm just saying, women it's in their DNA. Just the same way how men don't realize it, but men look for women to be their children, their mother to their children, right? It's not any and everybody. It's the same thing.
Right.
But did I welcome the Spartans? Yes, I did. Okay. What is the topic this morning,
Really
Rudy?
welcome, yeah. But say what?
Oh, okay. We welcome the Spartans.
What is the topic?
What is the topic?
We going with that second one?
All right, I like that one because I have a friend, a couple who going through it. We're talking career versus children, right? So they've been married for 5 years. They're in their 30s, but he wants a child.
Right.
And but she have career on her mind, and she telling him next year, and every day next year, and we so many women, and I guess women have this problem, and not so much the men. I don't ever hear a man saying, should I have a baby, or should I take that promotion? Men never have to make those kind
Of course they do.
I mean, when you're in a
I
committed
understand
relationship-
family planning, that's different. But I'm talking about where you have to choose career versus children.
I
How
know,
often
I know
do
many
men
men,
have
I
to
know
do-
many men have chosen their children over careers. Internationally as well. This actor boy, they had a documentary on him. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. The guy from that movie. He gave up his career for his children. Gave it up. After that show, he went ghost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Happens.
And it may have been, I believe it was some sort of complications that his wife was having, that he decided to just pursue his children alone.
I mean,
What?
I think I went through that to a certain extent because I've had endometriosis and it's a big word, but any day is problem having kids. And I remember my doctor telling me, Nikki, you need, I was like 35, 36, Nikki, you need to, if you want to have kids, now is the time.
Yeah.
You need to do it. But I wasn't with anybody. My career was doing good.
Marlon wasn't around them days?
No, Marlon wasn't around them
Marlon
days.
wasn't there? Plankman wasn't there?
And, I was by myself, and so women have this kind of biological clock always ticking, tick-tock, And then, again, because of that tick-tocking, you could be in a relationship with a woman and you're just cool. But because the tick-tocking come in, it puts pressure on the relationship.
And we'll see it now on TikTok. It's just making it worse. Yeah.
Right? So, and it ties in not only to children, but marriage too. There's a kind of pressure with children and marriage. Sometimes that women put on men that all they could do it out that
It's
pressure.
scary at times, boy.
Yeah.
Because it's not even for the first child, Like you could already have 2 children and your wife still pressuring you because she have this quota that she wanna meet before she reach a certain age.
Yeah.
So you might have 2 boys and she really want a girl.
Yeah.
Or you have 2 girls and she really want a boy, but she letting you know how to do that before she's 35, eh?
Yeah.
I said, well, you already have 2.
children is either
don't matter.
pressure on either side. Because sometimes, what about now the relationships where society expects women to have children?
I don't believe that. I don't believe in that.
Well, right. And now women are saying, no, I don't want children. It is okay. I want to build up my financial wealth.
Yeah.
I want to have a townhouse. I think we could have a lot more. And this is how many of the younger generation is thinking.
Remember that conversation we had, right?
Yeah. Children is money and stress compared to let's just chill,
And,
man.
and there is no compound you can return.
Correct.
I tried. So I know for a fact that
You tried that?
Of course.
Right.
At some point you have to ask the question. The question was asked, where can I drop them off and get a refund?
Yes.
There's
Right.
none of that anywhere.
tried.
I tried. I honestly tried. I went
You
and
went, right.
I inquired. I Googled.
Where exactly you went?
Google. I Google, where can you drop
Drop
them
them
off
back.
and give back your money? Because it's not working out. I telling you, it's not working out. It is not. Children children are here to do many things. Yes, they put a smile on their face. They're very precious and all of that, but they're also equally yoked with stress and frustration. Children could put you in expense, bro.
Yeah.
Could.
I'm not talking about regular day-to-day expense. You know, it is your child who's now 17, your heart heavier. What is your one child? And you lend him the car. The car that you have a year payments on still. He not on the insurance, but you take a chance because you love him. And he went and pick up his boys. And they said they're going Maracas when he tell you he just going down the road, and come around the bend Maracas, they right by the people and most of the thing, he make a bad turn and run in and rub down a man brand new 525 BM.
Wow.
And he wrong. And the man whole broadside rub down.
You're like a maxi. A yellow band maxi.
And you get that call.
So it shouldn't be careers today. It should just be children and relationships. And we're talking everything because there's a lot of pressure, as we were saying, about children. Either you want or you don't want. Sometimes your partner is totally opposite to you. And women have that extra pressure.
Of course, and this is a sensitive issue too.
Because of career, etc.
With respect to, like, some people need to understand that you cannot get into a relationship when you have children with somebody who doesn't. It's
You
cause
don't
that,
think
Why not?
it could work.
bro.
But no, but
It is difficult, but you
It's
could
very,
do it
very
once.
difficult.
yeah, but
You
on
could
the
do it-
other
you could
hand,
do it if the person that you get into, if it's a man-woman thing and the man have kids and the girl doesn't have any, that's fine, because there's a possibility that she will want and you could then grow the family. But when it's the flip side, when the girl has, right, and the man doesn't, but he's not mature enough to understand the position and the responsibilities that's coming being a parent,
Yeah.
and he just wants to zest and live nice with the woman, and when he
Now,
anything
then
about,
she needs to notice that on
Well,
the
yeah,
right.
exactly.
that's the point I'm
Exactly.
making.
because if as a woman I say have 2 children and you decide to go out
Guys,
and
if you
date
go wrong,
again,
if
etc.
you go
One
wrong
of
as this man.
one of the first things I think women are very protective of their children. And
Supposed to be,
yes,
Supposed to-
supposed
has some
to
woman
be.
love man more than
be,
child, eh?
Correct,
Exactly,
is right.
exactly.
It's a woman who
Right?
love man more than child.
Because there's some women not introducing their children to no other partner unless they know for sure
Correct.
there's the kind of man I want around my children. And that's where we women have to take the responsibility and be careful who you bring around your children. Either way, right?
From boat
So-
ride to kindergarten.
What?
You know, meet him on the boat ride, he done picking up the child Monday morning. Why
Yeah.
you doing that?
Done
Why?
alright, done alright.
Why you
That's
doing
not
that?
right.
Sunday you went to your first boat ride with the man.
Why you doing that, girl?
And Monday you asking him, Robert, you around? You can just pass and go and pick up Nikolai for me, please?
late right now.
I'm running late. Oh, you calling me
How?
to pick up Nikolai? Me never used to see Nikolai father in my life. I ain't too sure what Nikolai look like. I had to go in school and I yeah, good day, auntie. Yeah, I'm here for Nikolai. Nikolai who? Robert. Nikolai Robert? Who are you? Well, his mother sent me to pick him up. You want me to call her for you? That is awful.
Yeah.
That awful.
Real out of timing, though.
It's not just pressure within relationships between men and women, but also pressure from friends and family always asking you when you're going to get pregnant. It's annoying and rude because
Yeah,
they're
no
not
fat on them,
considering
you know.
if this person has difficulty getting pregnant or can't have kids, it's insensitive. We come from that culture, and of course, I experience it because, having trouble having kids, public will just come up and Nikki, oh, you have no baby yet. But how long you and this man married? And that's how we as a culture,
Years old.
not knowing
Yeah.
the kind of pain I've gone through with trying to have
You know,
kids.
we
and-
always go against the wave, because you have the parents who always pressuring you to have, right? And then more than likely you may take a little while to have. But then there are those that telling you, do not get that girl pregnant, eh? Do not.
Get
Look at me.
Yeah, look.
Do not get that girl pregnant, eh? 2 months later.
that.
Baby on the way.
You know, and as parents, do you talk? Because, you know, I've had, talks with my friends' kids and Jerry kids and stuff. And it's almost like, as adults, you kind of see them going to make the mistake. You see in the hole they're going and fall in, the pothole, look the pothole, you try to look the pothole. But sometimes they had to go in the pothole to go through their experience and their pain and whatever they have to go through. Morning, this topic hits home. This year would make it 10 years we've been married. I always put career first until the miscarriages became a sign that something was seriously wrong. Last year, we decided to do IVF. Thank God it was successful. And now here I am in a high demanding job and realizing that he is my priority. And it's always the woman, that has to make that sacrifice. Men have, and it's so unfair to a certain extent. But I guess if you look at long time days, it wasn't a problem because women were expected to stay home and mind the children and nurture and bring up the family, while the man was expected to go out and bring home the bacon. We talk about it all the time, but times have changed. So women now many women have had to make that choice. Jaiga, I'm sure you know women who have, I'm not on that children thing, I'm my career, and the company sending her away to study for a year, and she has no time, and she has made that conscious decision. I don't want children. It was kind of unheard of long time where you'd hear a woman say that, but now it's
a norm. That's a normal thing.
Now.
And you know the tricky thing about it too is when you're in a relationship and you have an unplanned pregnancy. You understand? It just happened. It just happened.
Many of us here because of that.
And then sometimes men just not buy the bullet too, because you may be in a relationship with a woman for 5, 6, 10 years, and bam, you didn't expect it to happen. She get pregnant. And I respect this. Sometimes a man may want to have a child and a woman may not want to have a child, and then boom, it happened, and he just had to wait because she had to make that decision.
It's kind of unfair in that way, but
it's a hard conversation to have.
But at the end of the day,
you're trying to convince this woman you wait for 10 years.
We ready now.
We rode, we do this thing.
We could do it.
She not on that.
Your ears going.
Yeah, she not on
that. Rudy, Nikki, Jaiga, I working from home today. Hear the situation, Hey, I had to. Hey, I'm telling them. I'm telling them.
I love that.
Yesterday eating a little dinner. So hey, listen, right. I eating a little dinner. So when I'm macking, but when I pass, I hear play the girl talking to she friend about how, she does make sure and get she man lunch because to ward off all them girl and them so that they ain't go be watching me. So what do you hear? I didn't realize there's a color this girl putting on me, like them dog peeing around the spot to make sure that nobody pay attention to me. Anyhow, Jaiga, what they think about that? But I swear it's love, this girl marking she territory. So I's a dog. What do you
hear? It's a dog. You don't realize it's a dog,
bro.
You've been at an invisible food color you're in.
When you see a woman
come on, bro,
set up that kind of lunch, macaroni pie, let's do chicken sauce, some vegetables, a little lentils, a piece of avocado, and she put it in a special dish, and she put a fork and a napkin and thing. And I, as a woman watching, he reached, I know he knew that for himself. I tell you that she has set a territory.
But you have to be mad to go anyway, but you hear that kind of treatment you get. Like some kind of dog, you don't even need leash. They could come outside, they could thing and you know.
And then when the gate open and they run, they just call them and they run in right back inside.
Play man! Play man!
Don't do that, you're gone. Nah, he's a big man with feelings. Don't do that. Don't do that.
He's a whole woman, boy.
When I reach 30, when I reach 70, why I want to be in a parent's 3-legged race sports day. I don't want me and my child to be in a nappy same time. At that time, child could look after me. Career could wait. So she's saying, don't hear she's saying.
She's
career could
have
wait.
her children.
You have to have your children early in life, and everything else will come after. But I guess it's what you want in life. Because I tell people, live your life.
I believe
Too many people live in other people's life.
I believe in at least one unplanned pregnancy. You know?
But like you're lying on yourself. You like twos.
No,
You like
just
even
at least
numbers?
one.
Believe in one.
At least one.
But two is okay.
How that drop it?
Hey, oh, this drop in. See, when you reach 3 unplanned, you need to fix
You have
your
a
life,
problem.
yeah.
You have a problem.
At
You can't have
least
3
one,
unplanned
Jed.
pregnancies, guys. Come
Nah,
on.
At least
You have to have some kind of responsibility at some point in time.
You see that
Morning,
one?
Joel. The topic of children in a relationship, you have to have a grown-up conversation from early.
You must.
When it is the right time to have children, because you need a home, you're gonna need car, you need to afford
Most children don't
computer,
come like that,
laptop,
guys.
education, training,
Most children.
clothes, before you get to that point. So a woman need to be responsible enough to say, I have a career and I can afford X amount, and the man could then decide, yes, we could partner up and do this together. Not mainly the man or the woman has to sacrifice their career to think about children.
Yeah.
Could you kind of disagree? Many women have the, men, you don't think it because you think like a man, but many times women, especially single women, trying to do both career and be single moms is really difficult. And especially if you're with a man who not stepping up to the plate and
You're doing
holding down
nothing.
the fort while I trying to. So you really need a kind of partner on either side to say, well, all right, I holding down the fort while doing this, but you fly high.
Yeah, I want somebody who's to fly high right now.
See, if
I can hold on the foot and you fly high.
Brody, I agree with you. I had my daughter young. I am only 37 and my daughter is 15. This is Truckman. And my career is kick off and she gets everything she wants. We grew up together and she's like my best friend.
Okay.
Awesome. That's
See,
cherry
they
too.
didn't lie
It's
when
not
they
a
say
schedule.
children does bring blessings,
Yeah.
right? Or a child does bring blessings. I don't believe any children does bring blessings. A child, because you will realize to yourself, Nikki, if you are a responsible adult or not. People just find the purpose when they make a child sometimes because you have to pull up your socks.
No, you have to.
You have to pull up your
Some
socks.
people
And you
just get
skylocking
more
all the
worthless.
time.
No,
Yeah,
but
that's the thing too.
Some
But
people's
you
get
can see
more.
by our society, because I always say this all the time, when a young boy pick up a this, he wasn't parented properly,
Correct.
right? So there's a part of society that just bringing up kids and doing what they want and not taking the responsibility of going into productive adults.
Yeah.
And who do we blame for that? You know what I mean? Somebody had to take some responsibility. I say, women, we have to look to see who we making children for.
So you think it should go back?
We so in the love and the air and thing, and he's a sweet ras and not really studying. But I'm just saying, I just throwing it out there. That is this person responsible enough to be a father? And we seeing a lot of bad decisions out there, meaning there are a lot of single women who kind of sometimes they know meet each other 4 months into relationship and she pregnant.
Yeah.
And you're feeling good and you say, well, here wrong, bam. By time to deliver, he
that 4
gone.
months, Nikki, that 4 months is hot. Yeah.
But it was hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
It's hot.
4 months
My
in?
unplanned pregnancy turned out rude and disrespectful.
Wow. No, but the next thing is to, you see that first, as Nicole just said, see that first when she get pregnant, that hurdle right in the pregnancy and that first 9 months after the pregnancy, that is a major time. That is when all emotions are crazy. That is when you see all the flags in that period there. You kind of in that moment know how the relationship is going to go, and that is facts. I don't know for other people, but I'm telling you, in that time, you see that 9 months of pregnancy and the 9 months after, real crucial.
Yeah.
If you can make it out of that, there's hope for you and your little family. But you see if inside of that period there, it's rocky, know for a fact that the next 7 years is going to be rocky. Telling you.
I see. Big man thing. What is that?
I want to carry it on here.
Big man thing, Judd. Even if it is you're not in a sturdy relationship and you all don't see a future together and you have a child, I honestly believe that man should still be present when that young lady is going through that 9 months.
Of course.
You understand?
Of course.
And I will go as far as to say, even when she's about to go into labor, you gotta be day horse.
Whether or not. You
You
gotta
gotta
do the
be
Erica
there.
Badu, dog.
Yeah.
Erica had it. Erica did it best.
Yeah.
Erica make all her baby daddies hold hands
Yeah,
while she
them
deliver
have to hold
everybody.
hands.
Child.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I love it.
Yeah, everybody had to hold
Everybody.
hands
Nikki, on the
while she
next
push.
point, I grew up with a single mom and I'm one of 3 boys. and life was hard at times. So I always maintain that before I have kids, I have to be financially secure first to be able to provide for kids with the person I'm with. So it's not a case of a woman have to go out there and be a single mother and have children. You need to have these conversations. You need to be responsible before you bring children into the world.
Yeah, that's what we talk about. I had my daughter at 15, now I'm 30 and she's 15. I've accomplished my goals and we're closer than ever, and I am a single mom.
Amen.
Kudos to you, girls.
Amen, girl.
Ari and Ingrid, we had our 2 kids young. Great decision, as it helped me more than Ingrid change my thinking and priorities. We had a great. Our sons 22 and 17 are growing with us like friends. Much love
Nice
and
one.
blessings.
No, they get good. They have some people who just
Ari
like
good.
that. And you remember too, it comes from your support system. People that take that for granted.
Correct.
And your upbringing, as Nico said earlier. In some households, like in mine, for instance, because of how it was at Cali Ranks and them kind of thing, it was very difficult for me. I couldn't chuck early and bring no child. I'm tiny with a harab.
Oh yeah.
Nah, Jim, I wasn't taking that.
Yeah.
The support and love I get now is because of how it was done.
Right.
I was way more mature. I was stable. I had things.
I had no
telling you,
opportunity.
Jem,
Nothing.
Where did you choke?
I chuck early, but not
Yeah,
to
you
make
did.
child. You mean
No,
to-
not choke. I'm talking about choke as in hit target choke.
I had Risa when I was, she's 12 this year, 43
Oh God, we
minus
had to
12.
wait for this. We go wait.
31.
Carry over the one.
All of us are not strong in maths, man. Watch, boy.
That's what I said. We go wait. We know we have to carry over the one.
31. I really hate
31?
people, yeah.
Yeah,
But
Not bad though.
I hate, no, but at
Not
that time, I already had, well, what's
Yeah.
by society standards, everything. You understand? Between that age, for me, 25 to 30 was a real crucial. That 5 years was Chris. I do plenty in that 5. You
All right,
understand? But everybody don't have that. I have some people, I have peers. I remember when I was in Form 4, was the first time I experienced them kind of conversations. I had a homeboy, Dion. I remember going home by Auntie Dawn to give her the message. Well, not the message, to explain to her that
The message.
he
Don't shoot the messenger.
told her that it was an accident.
An accident, yeah.
It was an accident.
Yeah,
you
and
don't know,
her
sorry.
response was, I can't say it's an air.
Yeah, he slipped.
You ever see a in sling?
No,
Yeah.
right.
You ever see a in sling?
Yeah.
How that was an accident?
Yeah, yeah,
Accident, when
yeah.
things that is accident can end up in a sling. You ever see that in a sling?
Oh, yeah,
No.
in a cast?
And it came with a pot. A pot came flying, daddy. I get my
Like you
face
was
bust
there.
and I not even need she child.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I telling you? It was Rab. 2 of us end up outside the house. He mouth bleeding, my head bleeding. I'm telling you, Auntie don't never use a laps. It was Rab. But he's now a grandfather. His daughter's big. His daughter's
course,
30
of
already.
course,
You understand what I'm saying? So they
I
did
mean, I
that
don't
early.
think anybody ever wants that for their children, meaning that you have plans and you want the best for your children. And then to come and your little 18-year-old daughter come,
come and she
or
tell
the,
her she
or the
pregnant.
boy, moms have
I
a,
hate Nikki,
a
carry
little
the
daughter.
one. You just say something sometimes you meet a girl, pick
What?
bucket of water.
I
and that's
know
what
you
she
would
done.
put it in 43 minus.
Carry the one.
Hey!
I
tell you, sometimes
I just want to wet you, a whole big bucket of water, you know.
I kind of agree with you guys. I've had that conversation before. I met my husband when my son was 9 months, and I didn't want any more children because he was a really good stepfather. And when I say that, as a stepfather, sometimes even the bare minimum that you do is appreciated. So even though in other people's eyes he was doing bare minimum, I appreciated because he didn't have to. In my eyes, I'm like, it's not his biological child, he doesn't have to. And I didn't want any more. After arguments, talks, going over, a year passed, a year and a half passed, I'm like, okay, take out the birth control, let's try this. Within weeks of taking out that birth control, I was pregnant. And that's what I didn't want, And we didn't last. It was so bad. I didn't realize that he was so irresponsible, because in my mind, I'm like, this now is his own. He'll take on more of the responsibility. He will do more. Whew, he did less.
Wow.
Damn.
He did less for the second one. It was horrible.
Let me ask you something, guys.
It's real sad when you hear them kind of stories.
yeah, but
Them fellas just drag it, boy.
I've always kind of wondered how men can walk away from their children so
I can't answer
easily.
them questions.
Knowing that you have young ones out there and you just don't care how they eat Because you all make a joke about this all the time. The child mother always want, she always want. But anybody who are around children would know that children eat constantly. They grow constantly. Yeah. You know,
they
buy a shoe
constantly.
Yeah. By next week, the shoe tight on the child foot. So I just don't understand from a biological point of view, a psychological, how men can walk away.
I can speak on my behalf, right? We make jokes and whatever, but at the end of the day, if anybody knows me personally, when it comes to the children, if I was to be that dude that people try to say I am and really had children all over the place, you would have known. I would have been the dude with all my children. My rap would have been me and everybody else rapping. Because I telling you straight, I don't care. You could be vexed with me how much you want. So and so are pregnant. The two in Cascade's mind, the next 4, if I had 15, all 15 would have been with me. Yeah. I would have been breaking my back to make sure that they're okay. I don't make the jokes about the mother was one, mother was one, but with that being said, the children are always taken care of. I get cut from that old cloth.
Yeah.
That you just have to be responsible for your children.
We need to be teaching young boys and girls responsibility. Because we're seeing that teenage pregnancies and out of the roof, and many people, and like what Quincy said about conversation, most time people start the conversation with a late. That's how the conversation is start about children most of the time. Nobody's really sit down and say, okay, I like how this is going, maybe in 2 years.
For men especially who abandon their responsibilities, sometimes it's deeper rooted than just you and the woman can't agree. It's drama. It's drama because plenty men, especially black young men, who are abandoned when they were in infancy.
They say go right back to slavery days.
Yeah,
the breaking of the family.
It's in your unconscious mind that it's something that you don't want to talk about or we don't like to speak about. Is plenty young men was abandoned when they was young, so they don't feel nothing about walking away from a newborn.
Yeah, but listen
that
to this
belongs to them.
At some point, I hear all of that. Been in therapy for many a moons to have the conversations of you have to be conscious enough to want to break the cycle.
I absolutely
and
agree with
everybody
that.
around it starts with every individual. My way of dealing with it, bro. Do not befriend anybody who's irresponsible. Keep that negative energy away from you. Every opportunity you get, shout and scream at them because
you had to make that decision.
Yes, but understand this.
You have to make that conscious decision.
How it can be manifested is I am not, and I telling you this without a shadow of a doubt. Let me take off the music. There is no way. There's nobody could even have a conversation with me if you are an individual like that. I will tell you,
I don't know nobody wrong
bro,
like that.
You need to do so. So if you're not doing it, you cannot be my friend. And the next thing before you go, Nikki, I have a problem with the word stepfather. I have a problem with it. Unless your father is dead or really and truly out of your life, you are not someone's stepdad. If you're with a girl and she has kids, you can support her and love her children as you love her, which is what you're supposed to do.
Because you have to respect the real father.
Yeah, but you see, people call everybody. Girls have this thing. They're always quick to call somebody else. Like me, my daughter's mothers could have 1,000 man. None of them will be a stepfather to my child, my children, will ever until I dead. That is the point I'm making. If I am dead, then you can step up as stepfather. It might have instances.
I kind of disagree with you.
It might have instances.
So none of your exes must ever be happy and have
No, I said, of course they can be happy. You're not listening to what I'm saying. Of course they can be happy.
But once there's a man in your child's life.
He's a man, that's an uncle.
Oh, it's an uncle.
How could you be a stepfather to my children? I'm alive providing and doing everything emotionally for my children, financially for my children, physically for my children. You are their uncle, bro. You are their mother. You are their mother's man or husband. You're not a stepfather. And I right here, so I there then. Well, I am physically here doing everything for my children. You cannot be a stepfather. You can be an uncle. You can be the husband.
You can be the husband to my children. That word is a trigger word.
No, it's not a matter of trigger word. People just use it out of context. They say stepdaddy. Everybody quick to call somebody a stepfather.
No, but I'm saying that there are many stepdaddies who have taken that responsibility.
So what are the child supposed to call them? I'm a mother, man?
No, that's your uncle. That's respect. That is your uncle. That is your mother's fiance, husband, man, whatever. You have to address the man that's Uncle John, Bruce, James, whatever. You have
So
to know
no
the difference.
stepdaddy.
That is your stepfather, bruv. It can't be
Because
if
he
your
take up
father
the
is
slacks
alive.
when you're not there.
What
You,
slack is he taking up? What
understand what you're saying,
taking
no,
up?
understand what you're
Okay,
saying.
but
So
the slack
if they're sharing
is-
responsibility.
Well,
How can a man share?
wait,
How is he
what I'm
sharing
saying is-
responsibility for
Listen,
providing for my child?
listen now.
no. But he could be there emotionally if the child does not live with you, Jaiga.
Exactly. And
Right.
he- and
The
he's
child
living
lives with the mother and
And the-
her
and the
husband.
stepdad.
And a husband,
Right?
His stepdad.
That point, there is and he is an active.
Of course,
he's
playing
an
a role
active
there,
man.
of course.
That is the demand that your child.
I think
is,
you're taking
is
it from a point where
sleeping with
you doing
and
everything. You doing
no,
everything,
no.
and
Understand
he
this.
has no sense of responsibility.
when
for
you
the
when
child.
co-parenting and blending of families start to happen the real mature way, people will understand what I'm speaking about. When it's happening the mature way, yes, my children is living with their mom and her husband or whatever,
Right.
and they're blended. We all have to live cohesively in one circle. We had to be friends. I had to be able to come. You had to come by me. They could come over by me for family time. I go by them for family time. Yes, he will be supportive of the children because of the love he has for their mother. But I'm talking about using the word loosely as being a stepfather. Understand, a stepfather steps in when the father is no longer there, bruv.
No, and I
I
disagree.
mean, there are different ways to step in.
There's a
Right.
if my child, say we have a 10-year-old, right, and Jaiga is there as a very active father, right? He's doing everything he's supposed to do emotionally, psychologically, physically. He is there. But at the end of the day, this 10-year-old is living with me and my husband.
Yes, he has to,
right?
the child has to have respect
And
for the guy
exactly,
and all of that. But
and he now needs to step up because he's a father figure in her life for sure. So he needs to step up
so
too.
you see, you're making
He's
it sound
an
as though
uncle
when you
figure.
say it like that, Nikki, understand what you're planting and understand the seed
What
you're
am I
planting,
plant-
right?
what am I
When you say it
planting?
like that, he's stepping up there. So you're trying to tell me in a moment, if my child is having an issue emotionally, she bypasses me and go to him because he's physically there in the space.
That could happen.
How? When I'm a phone call away?
But it could happen, Jaiga, because at the end of the day,
It
you're
could
a
happen
phone
if she
call
falls
away.
Okay, if
right?
she falls and
if
break
she
her leg
has
and he is right there, he's
no,
supposed
we
his
talking-
responsibilities to take her there,
that-
call
that-
and
that-
say, hey, so
Yeah,
and
but
so
that
now
is
break
him-
her foot.
Well,
thing.
exactly.
But that is him stepping in because now he will be responsible for comforting her until that time comes where you will step
there
in.
will be times that
You
this
understand? So
father
he plays a vital
has to
role
be
there, though.
there.
He plays a vital role.
Of course, and real fathers have to give him that room to step up and be there because
And
he
there's
is a guardian
there's
for
a
your
respect
child.
to her. He had a respect for
I
you too.
understand that exactly.
He had a respect
I
for you
understand that, but you see when how the tone in which we have these type of conversations.
I know,
was
I
important.
agree with you. People
Because
usually use
what I'm
it
saying,
to see.
Nikki's tone is, but he this and that. Not saying it is wrong. Everything you're saying is correct, Nikki, but the tone is very important. That's why I said something yesterday. You see, words, bro. Words important, and people need to watch how they use their words. You understand? Saying this loosely like that and just making it comfortable to just be like, bro, if a man is really a true father to his child can be wherever in Timbuktu. He will always be supportive emotionally. In a space, in a moment like what she's talking about, a child fall and have an accident. It could happen in school. So the principal is now the stepfather. The principal has to emotionally take care of the child in that moment until the parent get there. So you're trying to tell me the principal all of a sudden turns the father because the child fall along and twist a knee?
So my thing is...
All right, guys, let's get some many comments out quick before we have to do trending. Guys, you can look at Daddy Issues with Sarah Jakes Robert featuring TD Jakes for
TD
some
Jakes.
clarity on men leaving their family or kids' life. I just want to hear what the neighbor, some comments. Wait, neighbor, go on there. Ooh, Oh,
Yay.
it's hot.
Steamy.
Tone in which we have these type of conversations.
I understand what Nikki's saying, but no, you're working so. I ain't got to give nobody time with no child is mine. It's mine. I deal with it.
All right, I hear you. But at the end of the day, your child is living with another parent.
Fact of the
Yes,
matter
I
is,
know
listen
that.
to this.
I
huh?
can completely understand what Jaiga is saying. Plus, a step parent is a divorce or breakup away from being another person in society. But yeah, it's, no, I hear Jaiga and your passion is there. But I think I just like to be real with real situations, many real situations out
Yeah,
there.
but the
And
realness, Nikki, what I'm saying, we have to be careful with the tone of the realness because it makes it comfortable for people to just run out the road and say like, yeah, I'm this chef. It doesn't work so. Grown people and responsible parents don't have them kind of things. The tone cannot be that. We have to sit down and you have to be understanding. And that man or woman in the situation could happen both ways. A man could then remarry with somebody else. The woman in that marriage have to have a different level of respect for your child's mother.
Of course, and that is there. But you also have to be, you're asking for the respect for being the father, but you also have to give that respect to, and we're talking the stepfathers who's stepping up and taking care, because you're not there 24/7.
Yeah, I know, but Nicole, all right, like the mother in that situation, woman, remarried, new man, whatever, living with the kids. She too have to know her place when it comes to, when she see the man doing something, there are boundaries. She also has to say, listen, so is the case, and respect the fact that me too, and the man on the other end had to be like, yo, I appreciate the love you have for my children, but certain things have to be done by a parent.
Right.
It have people who's overstep too.
I'm tell you, I agree with
and
that.
Cause problems. You cannot overstep. You have to have respect.
I don't titles don't really faze me, because at the end of the day, it will all be based upon the relationship that you have with this child and the connection that you have with this child. Because it's a woman who's outside woman and let's play that is the inside woman. You know what I mean? People do play the titles, so it all boils down to the connection that you have with this set individual. And bond the titles.
With that, let's see what's trending. Okay.
You know you're the outside woman. You want to. Why you calling me 3 o'clock in the morning? Know your place and play a role. Just play a role. That's all I'm saying.
Can we do trending?
Hey. Oh, yeah, let me see what's trending.
Some mothers who is not mothers, Nikki.
What do you mean?
And they had a mommy title.
Oh.
Mommy, and they're not playing mommy.
Yep.
They're not doing what they're supposed to do.
Oh, that's our whole next topic, bro. See that one there. All right, guys, time for this. Yeah. All right, guys, you back. Want to say welcome to it if you're now tuning in. This is the breakfast party on a Friday. What you call it? You dig? 7999696. That's your numbers for those of you. Yeah, you know we need to be saying that a little more intro, you know, because a lot of people still don't know it. We assume everybody knows. 7999696. That's your number to get inside.
You getting some voice notes out?
Yeah. Let's get
the phone stay me.
Yeah.
What party?
Yeah, breakfast party. Yeah, I say in the morning. It's true, women just have to give up certain things that men might not give up. They might have to give up a piece of the career. They might have to give up a 9 months labor. These things, yeah, understand? It's big things, yeah. But you can't get vexed with the man, vexed with God, because it's God who have it. So you understand, if God wanted to a woman and man, he would have say, washing, fishing, and
that
you know, the man, and we had to total baby, or we had to do certain things. So you can't get vexed with the man. But at the end of the day, the man is the provider. And I know them woman don't be feeling sorry for a man when they're spending we money, all we money. You understand? But anyhow, at breakfast party, love all you women, love all the women, the ladies, big up all yourself. Oh, Joe.
Morning.
Good morning, Ojo World. Happy Friday, my favorite day of the week. Thank God I made it through. Hi, Ojo World. This is Sibel. I kind of totally agree with what Jaiga is saying. Once you are married or whatever, there's so much, and there has to be a boundary with the stepfather and, you know, the mother. You have to know how far to go. I'm divorced. I have 2 kids. But I always let my kids know that they have to have respect for whoever their father is involved with. I don't want them to disrespect whoever it is. Because regardless of whether you have a mom, you have a dad. But if he has someone in his life, you have to have respect for that person. And Rhodey, you're funny. You're killing me here. This is Sibel.
Have a great day, Sibel. Thanks for your input.
Giselle.
Hi, Ojo World. Good morning. I'm sending happy belated birthday greetings to my daughter who turned 19 yesterday with the highest amount of attitude, like the Twin Towers. Wow. But just letting her know mommy loves her still, and she appreciated all the birthday greetings that was sent to her.
I went through that.
Happy birthday, Kanisha.
I went through that with my mother. Yeah, I said, turn a certain age. Well, when I leave school, I thought I woman.
Yeah.
We had to ask to go out and thing again. I was woman.
You're 100% right. Nikki, you're 100% right. Both of you all are right. Okay? So no need to quarrel. It's just the tone. and the agreement based on the history.
Thank you.
No.
And I think we are both correct, right?
Yeah, we are.
But at the end of the day, it's about respect.
Respect, and it's about having that uncomfortable conversation that a lot of people try to run from. That is why that whole concept of blended families is so tainted in Trinidad. That's a Trinidad thing, you know. All over the world, it's a blended families. There's few of them here. I know some. You understand? Where everybody could live cohesive and it could be nice. All it is respect and boundaries, bro. That's it.
Jerry, ex-wife, you know, we are family. And I always use as an example because at the end of the day, that's many people's situation. They always have an ex or a child mother around. And
Most
you
times.
and you will have family functions, confirmation, first communion,
All
those
of the
kind of
things.
things.
All
that
of the
you
memories.
have to meet up and... So you there with your big sour poofoo face on one side, and you are the big poofoo on the next side, and in the middle, the child in the middle, and grow up. We all need to grow up with those kind of blended relationships.
It has to get to the point where everybody have to have that hard conversation and realize that.
And you have to have that conversation with yourself.
You know, I don't understand, especially if you have moved on emotionally as well. You just be taking up every night with whoever you're taking up with to do and living your life. Why are you still upset?
But they have some people, I could go on, but you mustn't move on. You must suffer and dead like a dog with 4 legs in the air.
Wow. I have one question for Nikki. Can the child, as you say, stepfather, lash him or lash her?
Oh God, what do you?
That's what I want to ask Nikki. No.
No. I don't think it should be lash.
Where did you lash?
Okay, wheel and come again.
Again, those things will come up because
Of
again,
course.
if you're giving the person, man or woman, that amount of privilege to say, this is the person, this is your stepfather, your stepmother, you're now empowering that person
To
to
discipline
operate
them.
as they see fit and understanding something. If there's not some, it has to be so sweet,
you
brother.
definitely have to have that kind of conversation.
Exactly, it has to be so sweet. Where
if that child come and say, my uncle beat me,
it could end up rough. So that is where the parents now have to be parents. All of them.
Yeah, it's a
so you had the
good
conversation with like, bro, somebody think you pick up the phone, you call the father, hey, Dan, so and so happening. No.
Yeah.
And what she tell you?
So to
Hold on, I come in.
To get that stepfather role, you as you say, you have to be actively playing a role in each child's life, and the father figure, the biological father, it has to be that he ain't really stepping up to the plate. He really doing it. But if you doing what you're supposed to do, and you getting assistance from you know your child mother partner, then cool. I don't see the big issue in the stepfather thing. At the end of the day, we give ourselves roles, functions, titles, and some of us don't play those parts. We don't play it at all. It's our mothers, it's our fathers out there who they're putting up their child on Facebook and thing and that.
It's a real Instagram daddies. You know that. It's a plain
it's not our father. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Stop lying and putting up them thing though. Don't do that.
Instagram
don't do that.
Oh, dear.
We know that.
We know them.
Right? You're buying matching sneakers and taking pictures and all kind of thing. Right, but when it comes down really to the nitty-gritty, you're not doing nothing for that child.
They don't even know what kind of formula the
Use
child
daddy
is
and daddy and daddy, you're not doing nothing.
They don't know the child's sleeping habits. They don't know nothing. Imagine your child allergic to nuts.
Yeah.
But you so want to be saying you carry your child football and you have on same Jordan, but you're buying a pack of nuts to your child. The child face swelling, you call him, but you don't know what to do.
You don't know what to do.
Stupid bad.
You don't know what to do. You're only posing.
Good morning, guys. Nikki and Rudy, I agree with Jaiga. You know, again, whenever you're all talking about family and kids, I always agree with Jaiga. I think we are on the same path when it comes to those things. If you're a good father and you and your child in every aspect, there's no need for any other type of father, whether it's stepfather, and father, anything that embodies the word father, because there's no slack for him to pick up. So if Jaiga is in his children's life doing and there's no stepfather role for anybody else, whether or not the mother is in a relationship with somebody else. What there's another family member that is there and part of the village to raise this child, but he doesn't take on the role of father in any capacity.
And I disagree with that slightly, because you can't tell me a child is living with the husband of the mother and that person don't have some kind of
active role
in your child's life.
There's a role, Nikki. There is a role. Of course there is a role, but it's like a principal. We're not principal. When you send your child to school, the principal has a role to educate, protect, and serve your child.
So you just don't like father wrote
I am
it.
saying we use things so loosely and make and
So
feel
he's
as
saying
it's
because,
common.
because you have a
He is
relationship,
a-
because
he's
you
a
have a healthy relationship with your daughter, it doesn't necessarily mean that he has to do the same.
No, of course it has to be healthy, but from the space of he is there to provide protection and love in the household. You understand? Because he's obviously with the mother. So the
Right.
same amount of care and attention he
Okay,
gives
so
to her
he's-
mother, he
he's
gives to
doing
the
that,
child.
he's doing that.
that
Right.
fully well. But when it comes to fathering a child, being there for a child as a parent, as a father,
Right.
and you are actively there, he supposed to pull back a little bit, allow it, and help you and the mother, you understand, in making sure that we all get to the same place. That we all get to the same place with the child. That's all
So
I'm
you-
saying.
All right, I agree with you in terms of
Yeah, no,
overstepping
there's
his
many. I
boundaries
agree
and all
with
these
you.
things, but
Come on, guys, we gotta get some of these voices out. We have a
play them,
lot.
play them.
Ojo, Nikki, Rudy, Jaiga. Well, the woman I just go out with have older children, 24 to 25 and stuff like that.
Get chill.
I don't mind them calling me daddy.
I know the man.
Thank you, Davan.
Guys, that topic today hit home. Have a blessed weekend.
And I just want us, again, that, and I talk to my young ladies out there, just take your time, and it works both ways about who you're making children with. At the end of the day, because at the end of the day, I know, of course, it is easy to
When
say.
you are hen in your head. When you are hen in your head,
And you
touch
up.
wrong.
And you up.
Yeah,
Up. What can he say? What can he say? When you up and you're up and you're up and you're up.
And you drag in our front door.
That's how many I was kind of reach there. Jaiga, you're too rough on Nikki. You need to understand, if an ex marries again or has a new man, he would be considered the step. If you get someone with kids, he would be considered stepfather as well. Bottom line, if he sees so strongly, he should have stayed with his ex.
No.
So it's not about the ex.
Have nothing to do with
Nikki,
that.
there's a role for that person. That person is another adult in the child's life
That's
that
it.
they will
That's why I say
learn to respect
them.
and care for over time. But that
So all
other
of a sudden,
person who
all
is in
have
a
a
relationship
problem
with the
with
mother, or
stepfather.
even if it's a woman in a relationship
Even
with
if
a
they play the
father,
role.
it's not the child's stepmother or stepfather. It's not mother in any capacity. I think the words, those titles are given too freely to people,
that
and
is
that's
my
why
point.
it
That is my
children
point.
growing up the door. They think everybody is all equal and one. No,
It's
it have
not.
levels to this. There's mommy and daddy, there's auntie, there's
but we
uncle,
know
there's
that.
cousins,
Let me ask
there's
now.
neighbor.
know that, but
So you of the opinion that only if it is the father is a worthless man, he's not a wrong, or he dead, then you should get that title as a stepfather.
Because you will be
That's what you're saying?
Because you will be filling all the role 100%. That is my point.
Yeah, but
you are
even if you're
100%.
even if you're fulfilling the role,
you are fulfilling
80%. Why it have to be full 100? So a child can have two mothers.
That's a whole different.
Child, don't get taken up in the labels. Look at it as the
saying.
child knowing that they have a village, they have
Thank you.
people outside of mommy and daddy that they could count on, outside of godparents and all of that they can count on, because that's how Kimani feels. Her father in Trinidad, we here, and she can count on anybody both remotely and here. If something happens, she knows she can pick up the phone, call Auntie Hannah, call Auntie Sata, call Uncle Tony,
I
anybody.
like that. It's a village race.
It's a village, I understand that, but the child fully well understands that, listen, on an emotional moment, I run to my father.
But she know that,
Understand what...
She don't know that from the title, she know that from the
It
relationship
goes back
that they
to...
have
No,
with
no,
her.
no, that's why I keep saying words, brother. If we continue operating in that space where we just say things loose and leave it, Vike, we will never fix
Okay,
it.
let me ask you this.
We will
We done
never
doing it
fix
already.
it.
So-
Well, that's why it has to stop. That's what I'm saying. Every
think we done stopped
individual,
just so.
you can't say that, Rudy.
I think we done
You
stopped
can't
just
say that. That is why our generation cursed, because nobody wants to stop and plant the foot and say, hey, let me be the face or voice of change. And you have to do it. That's the only way it will change. We can't just continue this living Vikey,
Nikki, Jaiga, Rudy Raw. My ex-wife remarried, and her boyfriend, well, her husband, tell my daughter he's his stepfather. My daughter turn and tell him, no, I have a father. You ain't my stepfather. So that stepfather role thing, I agree with you, Jaiga.
Okay, so what do you call, right? Since you don't like the word stepfather.
Step-guardian.
If there's no father wrong and a man has really stepped into that
Oh
role.
God, you know I'm
No,
saying
no,
it.
no,
If there's no father
So-
wrong, automatically
so it's
that's
considered as
stepfather.
stepfather.
No, he talking about when he is playing an active role, he is there 100% for his daughter.
Of course.
You
Of
shouldn't
course.
have the title as a stepfather.
Of course.
What are we talking about? What if you're not around?
Damn.
People tell me the definition of a stepfather. A man who is the husband or partner of one's mother after the divorce or separation of one's parents or the death of one's father.
Okay.
They need a part two. They're begging for a part two.
Breakfast party, good morning. Nikki, Jaiga, Rudy, Raw. Pro sometime. Jaiga can't wait for Sunday. Great is the art form.
Great it is, my friend.
And now kind of catching up on the topic while you're talking about it. But here this one now. This one shocked me. It hurt me real bad. A partner of mine choose work taxi with me, right? Just get to find out after 4 years, after a woman he was with, bring he and his mom to the hospital and tell him this is his daughter. And after 4 years, this man get to find out this is not his daughter.
Yeah. We've addressed that situation many times. He's a father figure in the mother's home, thus stepfather. The analogy with the principal does not work because the person's title is principal. The mother's new husband's title in the child's life is stepfather. What title you want to give him if you ask the child? My mother man? The child will say that's my stepdaddy and that is my real daddy. That's how children perceive it.
Cool.
Yo, playway man. Quick question though. that bowl, that lunch bowl, say spot or rover on it? But you know what they say, man is dog. But dogs are loyal. So she making sure nobody in shake she can.
Thank
you know what I mean?
Bro, you set by play, man.
Yeah,
you set by.
Guys,
You set.
again, hard conversations are always hard to have.
Fork and napkin wrong at something.
Jaiga, some kids make the choice or may gravitate towards the other male figure.
Only if you only if
you're not doing the right
you're not doing your job, and that is
My
common.
daddy say you's not my stepdaddy. You's not my daddy. You's nothing. You's nothing.
Wow. Aqua wants to know what he missed. Aqua, I cannot help you at this point, you know.
Jaiga, Nikki, Raw, Rudy. Jaiga, it all belongs. I agree with you saying, Jaiga, because look like me, all right. I have kids with somebody, and she has somebody in she life, but the kids don't go to them. But if something happen up the road in New York, he just deal with it, and certain things he just deal with because they don't call him step, they just call him uncle. And I agree with you with that. You understand? But I just take care. Look like my daughter. When she just get pregnant, she never tells she mother. Me, she tell.
Nice. But I like what he said just now. Isn't that okay? If you can't do something, he steps in.
Yeah.
That's what a stepfather.
That's his
he steps
function.
in.
That's his role.
And for you to think that he's taking over daddy role, I disagree.
No,
They
I'm not
step
saying he's
in.
taking over. He's
Yeah.
taking it over. I
No,
never
no.
use the word.
But
I
I'm
was
saying
saying words are important.
That
I
is-
never said
and
taking over.
That is why I said step. This man is stepping in when he needs to. And I don't see no problem calling man a stepfather for that. It was a very emotional
My
morning.
daddy say you is to just provide for me. So I want the iPad, the new one. You better organize yourself then, right? My daddy say you is just to protect, so make sure I don't fall along in this house, you know. Just make sure, you know. You is nothing.
That right there too is an next example.
You thinking about them children
No,
too, you know
that's
that.
the next example of when you're doing a bad job. Because if you could plant a seed in a child's head,
all right, so
that the man living in the
Yeah.
house with his
Yeah.
mother and himself and the child, it's just that you are failing as a parent.
All
You
in
are failing.
all, these situations cause problems for the kids. If the kids having nightmares or the father not there and the stepfather comforting the child, obviously the child will start to build a bond with the stepfather.
course.
The stepfather steps in,
Of
especially
course.
if the child is living with. You can
Of
say what all you
course.
want, he have nothing to learn from the man. He
I
this,
never-
he
that's
that.
being ignorant.
No, I'm
That's
talking
being
about
ignorant.
and many callers have said that. Look, I taking care of my child, But you have to admit that there are times when this man will step
will have to
in.
step in.
That when you're not there.
I'm not disputing that at all.
All right, guys, we seem like we have to have a part two to this. We have.
You want a part two, no?
Part two, yeah, no part two. Because I get it.
My daddy say.
At the end of the day, we have to have this conversation.
Of
You
course,
have
and
to
this
have
is the
these
point I made from the
conversations.
top. We have to have these type of conversations.
Oh, your daddy said.
Come here,
Daddy say that you is just my mother man. Right? You don't run nothing wrong here.
That is when you know you're failing as a parent. If your
my
child,
daddy said, you is not my daddy.
If a child regurgitating them kind of words,
with your child.
of course, you have to have some
Very
respect.
important.
And that's where we think this happen, and a lot of people just do that, especially here, mothers and fathers. When you trained by the father, he's saying, yeah.
But that's a whole different topic.
When you trained by
That
the mother
is
going,
a whole different topic.
Hate that, boy.
that is garbage. Them things have to stop. We had to stop that. We have to stop that. We
All
know
right,
somebody's
guys.
gonna go. We gone.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we gone yet. We have
Bless.
this to do on every bus out.
All right.